Hey, this is Rick Theriault, your Maine real estate guide. I'm on location on the shores of Maine's East Grand Lake. I'm at the end of Pratt Lane, which is off the Greenland Cove Road. And what I've got coming to market today for you folks is a family camp. This is not a lake house, it's a family camp. It was built somewhere around 1970, and they did a heck of a job when they built this camp. It's rock solid. It's got 3 bedrooms, kind of an open concept family dining kitchen area, and it has half a bath. So there's no shower facilities or tub or whatnot, but you don't have to run out to the outhouse. So why don't we're going to start on the outside, and we'll take a look at how well built this lakeside cottage is, and hopefully you'll see something you like. And if you do, you want to give me a call pretty darn quick, because at this price point that this is coming to market, this is a 720 plus or minus square foot lakeside cottage on 0.43 plus or minus acres with a septic system, utility power, year-round access on East Grand Lake, $180,000. So let's go take a look. The camp sits 50 feet from the water, which is a grandfathered location. You can't build that close to the lakeshore anymore, so that is, a premium grandfathered spot right there, 50 feet from East Grand Lake. There is a nice sandy swimming area as part of the frontage. There's 100 feet of deeded frontage on East Grand Lake. We're at the end of Greenland Cove. This is a very protected area, great area to learn to paddle a canoe or a kayak, and for your kids or grandkids to splash around in the water. It's nice, gradual, gravel bottom. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but it's just a beautiful swimming area here. And this is a great neighborhood. I've sold several properties here on Pratt Lane over the last couple of years, and this is a nice one, folks. So let's check it all out. So you get a nice privacy screen of trees, and you could cut down some of these if you wanted to, or take out a few more branches. And that's about really all this property needs, is maybe trimming a few branches and trees. So here's the welcoming committee. Family of ducks out for their morning stroll. They don't seem to be too alarmed by Rick Theriault, the Maine real estate guide. So let's check out this cottage. So first off, when it was built, the builder did something that I don't often see. And he actually poured concrete posts in the ground, which is the right way to do it if you're not going to have a foundation or a slab. Most camps, seasonal camps that I've seen over the years, they just kind of level it out as best they can. They throw a cinder block or two and build a camp, and then you spend the rest of eternity jacking and leveling as the ground shifts over time. Everything you'll see, as we go through the cottage, you'll notice that the doors are all true, the windows work, the cabin's rock solid. So there's a crawl space underneath, and he's got it skirted to keep critters out from under it. Sided with T111. The paint is in reasonably good shape, but you could paint it to your liking. It's a ranch style home. The shingles are dated, but watertight. There's absolutely zero evidence of staining or musty water damage from a leaking roof. So it is still solid from the elements, and it's probably because it's kind of sheltered and shaded, so it hasn't been abused by the weather too much. But in time, you probably want to put a new roof on it, and boy, this would be a great candidate for a metal roof. Pretty easy install to put metal on it. Here's the back door to a 720 plus or minus square foot camp. We'll go around the back here. It does have bottled gas, propane gas for cooking. I did say it does have utility power. Here's the meter. Here we are at the front of the camp. Now, the camp does not have a drilled well. It does utilize lake-drawn water for washing dishes, flushing the toilet, those sorts of things. The pump is kept in this area here, and what you would need to do is just run a line out to the lake, and then you'd have lake-drawn water. Let's continue around camp. The deck is in decent shape. It could use some stain. It's built out of pressure treated. Could use some stain, but it's in good shape. It's not checked all too bad here. No, it's in pretty decent shape. And I'll just kind of back up a little bit here. Now, you probably say, geez, that's an odd way to run gutters. And yeah, I've never seen them run like that way before. Usually you see a downspout, but you know, it works. Keeps the water away from the cottage. When it rains, it discharges out the ends, which are about 2 feet from the cottage. And so you don't get any heavy rains all around the bottom of the camp. But if you wanted to add downspouts and whatnot, you could trim that up and do that if you wished. But it works. The septic tank is in this area here. To my knowledge, it's concrete. The original builder of this cottage, and again, this cabin was built in around 1970, was in the heating and plumbing business, so he was a plumber, and his son has told me he's done everything right. So this is the first time this cottage has ever been on the market. The original owners of it are selling it. So, septic system in this general area. That's where the tank is. There is a pumping station over here for the gray water. I'm not sure exactly where the field is. We'll figure that out. But anyway, got a septic system, utility power, year-round access on East Grand Lake. Got a storage shed to keep your lawnmower, kayak, string trimmer, whatever in there. Pretty much high and dry. You know, a project that you may want to do when you take possession of this is just cut back some of these branches and stuff that are encroaching on the building, open it up a little bit. That's about all I would do. Throw some paint on the door. You're not going to have any rot issues because for the most part the siding is metal. Pretty solid. So, East Grand Lake is one of Maine's best fisheries. It's a deep, long lake. It's about 22 miles long. It's about 4 miles wide at its widest point, and it's 128, I believe, feet deep at its deepest. So it's a cold water fishery, and it has about all the fish species that Maine has to offer can be caught here. You can catch salmon, lake trout, brook trout, catch smallmouth bass, chain pickerel. They'll all be found here. East Grand is a border water between us and New Brunswick, Canada, and the town of Danforth, which is nearby, the built-up section of town, is about from where the camp is situated. That might be maybe a 20-minute drive into Danforth, and there you'll find groceries, hardware, gas. There's a restaurant in town. Danforth is a small town, we're around 500 people live there. But there's a healthcare clinic, so about everything you need can be obtained pretty close to the cottage. But let's take another look at this beautiful swimming area, all sand. The placid lake surface before us, a couple of people over there out for a paddle in the morning. And I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to go inside and check out the interior of 63 Pratt Lane. So let's head inside 63 Pratt Lane and check out the interior of this 720 plus or minus square foot cabin on the shores of East Grand Lake. And it's a step back in time, folks, so get ready. The cabin was built in around 1970, and it looks like it was built around 1970, but it's in great shape. I'm going to change the perspective here so you can see a little better. So the interior, as the exterior, are very well built. Watch this door close and listen. It's not binding. Closes and opens easily. This cabin was built solid and true, and they did a heck of a job when they built it. There's very little to do here. You can use this right out of the box and keep it as a quintessential lakeside cottage for your family to enjoy. The electric lights are in, the electric refrigerator is there. Everything is here. It's being sold furnished. Even the aluminum boat that was on the exterior of the cabin is conveying with the sale. So it's furnished, it's got bedding, it's all here, and it's in great shape. The flooring was probably in commercial grade vinyl tiles. I don't see any places really where it's lifted. Again, everything was very well done. You look closely at if the roof was leaking, you would see that on the paneling because it would show moisture and be cupped and stuff. And it is not. Everything is beautiful. Just beautiful. The stove that you see in the center, this is what you call central heat. It's right in the center of the cottage. And this is a very, very cool stove. It's a combination wood, propane, and I believe kerosene. The kerosene option isn't hooked up, but the wood stove is. They burn wood here in this section, and you cook with propane gas over here. And what I was told, as the story was told, the gentleman that built this camp bought this stove about 3 years before he built the camp, and he built the camp around the stove. But he picked this up because he said, that's perfect. And it is. You got heat and cooking all in one unit. Very, very cool. Got a microwave, some nice cabinets. These were all handmade by the builder, and he did a heck of a job. I've seen cabinets that have come from big box stores that are not nearly as nice as these. And yet everything works perfectly. You got a half a bath over here. And camp used to be, you go to camp, you spend time in the water, and you rough it a little bit. I mean, you don't have to rough it too much, but there isn't any shower. But you could take a sponge bath, wash your hair here, and I believe that's what this is for right here. Is to take some warm water and pour it over your head if you washed your hair over the sink. Here's your hot water heater. Here's one of the 3 bedrooms. And again, take a look at the seam between the ceiling and the paneling. There is no evidence of water intrusion here at all. This was a very, very well-built camp when it was done. You barely can hear me walk on the floor, it's so solid. So here's kind of the family room area. You can kind of hang out. The latest in entertainment technology is right here. View of the back side of the stove. Probably a box to store wood, I would assume. Let's check it out. Yep, kindling and firewood. Little storage rack. You got a little bit of a closet here. Keep linens and whatnot. Step ladder. There's the back entrance to the cabin. And there are two additional bedrooms. And again, check out the seam between the paneling and the ceiling. This is one of the best family camps I've ever brought to market. As far as quality of construction, everything it's got going for it. Year-round access, utility power, septic system, 50 feet from the water, sandy beach. This is quite a property. East Grand Lake, one of Maine's premier fisheries, at a very attractive price point of $180,000. So I'm here at the property. It's midweek, and it's very peaceful. You'll have, on the weekends, there'll be more people here visiting their camps and lake homes and whatnot, but by and large, during the week, if you were here at 63 Pratt Lane, you practically have East Grand to yourself. So if you're looking for a lakefront cottage for you and your family, and you'd like to be on one of Maine's best fisheries, and you'd like a very nice camp, take a look at 63 Pratt Lane. You won't find one any better. If you do, you better buy it. But give Rick Theriault, your Maine real estate guide, a call at area code 207-731-9902 if you'd like to take a closer look at 63 Pratt Lane. Call soon.